Hello YouTube, this is Galactic Marine 501 slash jexamwolfexia, and I'm here today with a sort of custom, an update for a custom that I'm planning for the future. Um, some of you may know that I'm a big fan of Exia, Gundam Exia. However, some of you may not know that I am still really mad at Bandai for not producing a Gundam Exia repair model kit from the beginning of the second season of Gundam 00, where he had the torn up sword. Hang on, I'm going to go to MAHQ to make sure I have everything right. He had the torn up sword, the missing arm. His face looked perfectly fine on one side, but on the other side it was basically blown off. Which is odd, because it was the side that his arm was not blown off on. And, so yeah, I'm actually starting a custom of that. I still need to get an Exia, however, so I'm actually starting with the parts that I have from Exia. Like, I have a lot of the parts, and I'm also going to start making the cloth shoulder piece that I need to custom build. Actually, I'm going to take the shoulder mount, cut it down so I can use it to help mount this cloth to the body. And then I'm just going to super glue the cloth to that. And I'm thinking of using like either burlap or just brown. Actually, I have a brown t-shirt. That's a size too small for me, so I'm probably going to use that. It's a brown t-shirt that I had from a few years ago. I don't. I know I have one. It's a few sizes too small, and because it was from when I was like a kid or something. Well, yeah, it was from when I was a kid. But so anyway, I've done the sword blade already. As you can see, basically all I did was just bit a chunk off the end, almost literally. Actually, I was looking for the normal GN sword that I had. This is actually not. This is actually the Exia Avalanche's GN sword, which is why the gun pops loose every 2 seconds. But anyway, so anyway, here's the Exia Avalanche's GN sword. And if you look, it's got the normal rifle. But if you pop the blade off, put this one on. It's not as easy, I have to say. I mean, even though you don't have to pop anything apart, I like the Exia, the super deformed Exias better. And that is basically it. Right there. This is what the 00 or the Exia repair was working with. Like he didn't even have his GN. I forget what. Like he just lost the whole blade of his GN sword. So basically, yep. And actually, funnily enough, I decided that I was going to use this and rebuild this one and make a sword that he didn't have to hold. And I figured out how to do that. Basically, you could do it with your GN sword and convert it back if you don't like it. And so basically what you do is you take off the whole gun, take off this bottom piece, and then the sword has 2 hinges and can become almost completely flat in the center. You can do this with any blade, by the way. There. But you don't use the proper connector for the arm. You use the one that the shield would mount to, and I'll bring in Avalanche Exia, who doesn't have the proper connector there. And I'm actually going to remove his wrist armor to do this. And as you can see, I converted one of Avalanche Exia's arms back to normal. And so basically what you do is you just pop that in there, like so. Then he can wield his GN sword and hold another weapon like the GN submachine gun. Maybe not the GN submachine gun. Let's go with something outrageous. Yeah. How about... Oh god, this is gonna be crazy, but awesome at the same time. How about the GN Buster Sword? And no, I'm not gonna be wimpy and go with the 00 one. Fly, my sword bits. Or not. No, don't fly. That would be bad. Okay, one of the sword bits came undone. That's not bad, actually. Oh, by the way, while I'm doing this, I want to tell you guys. I had a close to tragedy yesterday. Or was it today? Oh yeah, it was today. Jeez. Okay, I was starting to work on my Gundam shelves, my display shelves, when I noticed a few Gundams were missing. Mainly, I was starting and I noticed, I can't seem to locate my 00 Quanta and my Exia. And I thought, oh well, that's odd, but I'll probably find them eventually. So I just sort of left that one alone. Then I noticed that the NT1 Alex was also missing. So at that point, I started to get suspicious, like, wait, there's definitely a box missing from here. So I went downstairs and I was looking around, looking for it. Then something crossed my mind. I had been storing them on top of the washing machine, and it was just sort of a guess. I mean, I didn't think this had actually happened, but I just thought, what can it hurt to check? So I got a flashlight and I looked behind the washing machine. Sure enough, I could see I could see a giant overturned box of Gundams. At that point, I basically just said, I just basically had a total FML moment. Then just pulled the washer and dryer out, and it couldn't have been easy and been behind the one that was closest to the door. No, it had to be the furthest away from the door, our washer and dryer are side by side. There's no space in between them. And it was behind the washer, which is closest to the wall, where I could not pass if I tried. Like, I couldn't get that thing far enough out because it's against the wall. So I had to pull the dryer out, then pull the washer out, and there was about 2 feet of dust back there, no kidding. So, after about 2 minutes, I'm like, oh, screw this, I'm not going to be able to survive this. So I then just went back and got my got a bandana on. I put a bandana on, which helped with the issue of inhaling dust fumes, or dust, just not even dust fumes, just the dust. Oh yeah, and here's the sword, by the way. Yeah, now he can wield his regular sword, or his repair sword if you want, and some other ridiculous POS weapon as well. And sadly, he cannot dual wield these, which is kind of sad. I mean, I haven't figured out a way to switch the stud over to the other side. I probably could do it if I tried, but I don't think it's worth it, personally, because, I mean, if I had 2 Exia Repair 2 blades, I would do it, because I like the Exia Repair 2's blade. Or if I had 2 GN Sword 3s, oh wait, I do, and they don't suffer from the same shield issue. Because if the 00 Riser needs, or the 00 Gundam needs a shield, it just swaps out equipment. and brings in this BAMF. Oh no, wait. Actually, I gotta pull the drive off because it's the wrong drive. You gotta have a normal GN drive. You can't have the condenser type. Which actually, I now have 7 Sword as my normal GN drive. I also have my custom silver Exia, silver and blue color scheme. If the Exia needs a shield, if the 00 needs a shield, it just brings in this BAMF shield. It's like, yep, I've got a shield. Nope, you're not gonna mess with me. I know. I know. You can just go home now. You're not. Your help is not necessary. Thank you. Thanks anyway. Bye. Okay, I know whose front skirt this is. Oh yeah, it's the Quanta's. Huh. The Quanta loses its front skirt constantly. I don't know why. It just seems like it likes to do that. Oh, you know, also, I found in my parts, I don't know what this came from. I have an extra shield. An extra one of these shields. Oh, I remember what it came from. My friend had turned the 00 Gundam into the Exia, and I actually paid him $1 for his extra shield. He had like turned the 00 Gundam into a special 00 Gundam that had less armor and was more like the Exia and only had 1 GN drive. And I paid him $1 for his extra GN drive. However, he couldn't find the extra. He had mounted the extra GN drive to the back of the Virtue because he didn't like the really flat GN drive that the Virtue had. So I ended up just getting the shield, which I was kind of ticked off at the time. But now that I'm displaying one of them with the Quanta's drive and one of them with the GN drives, the actual drives, I can successfully just probably repaint these because they do look terrible. I just put a little green in there. I'm probably going to use the same metallic green that I did with these, and I may actually switch up. First of all, I need the Reborn's Gundam, but since I don't want to have a battle pose with him and the 00 Quanta, or not the 00 Quanta. Okay, the Reborn's Gundam would be screwed in 2.5 minutes flat if it faced the Quanta. But anyway, since I don't want to have a battle pose with it and the 00, I'm going to maybe have it holding a drive. Like, at the end where it defeats the 00. I don't want to say defeats, because it doesn't really defeat it. It just, the battle kind of ends, because they're both losing. But, yeah. Also, I did do another custom 00 weapon, or custom Gundam 00 weapon. I guess it would be Exia's weapon. But I call it the GN Sword Silhouette. And by silhouette, I don't mean like the silhouette flyer that the Impulse has, or the Sword Silhouette flyer. But I mean silhouette as in the other sword. When you have a silhouette in weaponry terms, a silhouette is usually when you have the exact same weapon in the other hand that you don't use as often as the other one. So say I have a normal pistol, but I have the other pistol, but it's holstered, and I only use this pistol under normal circumstances. The other pistol would be known as a silhouette. How do I know this? Don't ask. But yeah, I made this weapon because I thought, hey, the 00's sword blade has this weird imprint in it, and I thought that it would be sort of interesting to bring out this that little groove. So then I just cut it out. Actually, up until about 3 minutes ago, it looked like absolute crap because I had cut it out literally with an X-Acto knife. I really did cut it out with an X-Acto knife. And so it didn't look very good. I literally gorged the thing out with an X-Acto knife. Actually, I think I used my teeth somewhere in there too. I was just like, ang, ang, ang.